Wolfhounds Stadium. If you're just joining us, if you joined us just in time for kickoff, I'm Graham Dewhurst. I'll be taking you through the commentary alongside Larissa Muldoon. The Clovers, in case you're unaware, because everyone will be wearing an Irish badge, so we don't have specific badges, but the Clovers are playing in the red and green quartered strip. There they are, led by Dorothy Wall. And then we've also got the Wolfhounds playing in the blue and white quartered tops, led by Molly Boyle. So it's interesting that both captains coming in the pack. So that's maybe a wee bit of where the focus will be early on. Let's see who can get the bragging rights.
Oh, they're a big fan of their maul, their line out in the scrum. These two teams, so big battle.
There we go, a wee bit of confusion early on. So we do have a Clovers kickoff. Now it's interesting to note, I will not talk about the weather. The weather's glorious, but tell you what, the Wolfhounds, if you have a watch, every single player in the sunshine element has their hands up to their eyes, because I've been down on the pitch and the sun is raking in over that Aquinas stand. It's low, it's extremely bright, and expect the Clovers to utilise that with some maybe high kicks in the air to get us started. But here we go. Second match of the afternoon. Referee today in the middle, Andrew Mitchell, to get the game underway. And it's a deep start. Wolfhounds gather that well. Clovers, not unexpectedly, massive amount of pressure early on. Katie Whelan gets that back, and that's a nice clearance. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, we're going to see a lot of kick pressure, especially after, Wolfhounds and Edinburgh. Nikki Coy was under a lot of pressure in that kind of kick exit strategy. So I say we'll have a lot of either our nines or our wingers trying to get that charge down.
It's hard to know how much time the teams have to really prepare and make those changes after a tough week, but Clovers, they have their first opportunity to really pressurise the Wolfhounds. They'll want to get off to a real good start. Wolfhounds defence, very solid there to begin with. Good pressure on Katie Waldron, hitting that up. Faith Ovova. Up to the 22. Pushing well, you can see that's a big hit. Good defence there from the Wolfhounds. Good ball presentation from the Clovers. Flannery working that ball well. It's going all the way out here. Who's out on the wing? I think that might be Buttimer out in the wing.
Beth Buttimer, yeah.
It's always good to see a hooker right out there and backing herself out on the wing. Hughes. This is great phase play from the Clovers, really working it. Hughes hasn't had to go digging so far either, as O'Dowd takes that ball in. All slowed down a little bit. Shannon Toohey working nicely in pods here. It's the captain, Dorothy Wall, taking that into contact. Oh, a lot of players offering themselves as runners. Niamh O'Dowd. Little bit of a change direction. They're screaming out there. I hope you can pick that up on the mics, because they're super working just a little bit of a miscommunication, and all of a sudden here's the pace that we talked about. Nobody's going to catch her. They're going to cut across. Corey's making a great attempt to get her, but nobody's going to catch her once she had that ball in hand. Well, eventually there is a tackle, but that was right at the end. Katie Corrigan, she'll not be getting up there very fast, but tell you what, that's the turn of pace. That's the difference. Clovers, you thought, were going through the faces nicely. One mistake, bang, Corrigan's on it.
Look, we spoke about her before the kick-off, Graham. Like, she is absolutely lightning. And like, the thing for the Clovers is, how do you keep the ball away from Katie Corrigan today? Because she is, that is the damage she can do. I'm absolutely gutted for the Clovers, though. They went through really good phase play. They were direct. They got to the edges. They played with width. They had Beth Buttimer on the wing, with that mismatch, and then went tight again, pods around the corner. But then just just the handling, and we've seen that throughout the whole competition. The highest turnover count is handling, so it's just soft skills.
And there it is, just dinks over the extras. So Nikki Cockey adds the extras there to make it 7-0 here at the Kingspan Stadium. I mean, they always say there's no substitute for pace, is there? I never had it, but you appreciate it when it's there, don't you?
Yeah, and that's what the Wolfhounds can do. Look, they scored a lot of their tries over quick turnovers. So their transition from defence to attack is exceptional. So I think Neil will be very happy with that up in the stand there.
A little bit deeper a kick-off there from the Clovers, so the Wolfhounds have the opportunity to kick that clear. Aoife Corey working well there in the fullback shirt. Just that, as we mentioned earlier, that slight change to the team sheet from earlier. So Aoife Corey's now up at fullback. Clara Barrett in that centre role. But pretty seamless so far. Hellman. Lovely, lovely little roof. Beautiful play by Corey. Corey gives it off the other winger. Gorman, lovely ball inside. Corey with a support play, just goes a bit loose. Wolfhounds come away with it, but that was the threat. That's the threat that the Clovers offer.
Yeah, fantastic. Claire on that edge, first out at 13. Great take to get square, and then a 2-on-1 with Claire Gorman. She was just unfortunate, trying to keep the ball alive. Very unlucky, but they're in a good position here now to launch their fantastic line out.
I'm sorry, I hadn't updated my team sheet there. But you're absolutely, Clara Barrett there. It was holding the ball in two hands. It just gives the defence that momentary thought of, is she going to pass, is she going to go, and created that hole perfectly.
Yeah, we've seen her do that, like obviously from the summer interpros with Connacht. Herself, Maeve Daly, fantastic trying the edge and her ability to keep the ball alive. She's definitely a player to watch, I tell you.
Well, she got the turn of pace, and it was the fact that she followed up the pass, didn't just leave it and go, but just took the inside pass again. So the Wolfhounds even from their own 22, they're willing to play, and again looking for those little holes. And you kind of feel, yes, well, while they may not come now, and that was a great turnover, but we just go back for the original. Andrew Mitchell brings us back for the original infringement. There's going to be a game today, isn't there? Everyone's just wanting to play it.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, if it's on to play from within your 22, let's have a go. Obviously they want the ball in Katie Corrigan's hands. So how do you get the ball there?
Yeah, that's right. It's just spin it wide, and she will get more space at some point in this game, especially when legs start to tire.
Yeah, and I think it's an opportunity for Clovers to go at those edge rucks. Their defence was good there. Obviously, we're coming back now to the initial infringement.
I mean, it's been a very positive start from the Clovers, hasn't it? I mean, they're really taking the game right to the Wolfhounds, and they've already broken through gaps, created space. I mean, you couldn't ask, bar the scoreline, you couldn't ask for a more positive start. No,
and that's what we wanted, and it's great to see that team evolve. And I think Kate Flannery's doing a great job of managing those forwards around, and they've good shape play. They're very direct in between the two 15s, and then when they get to the edge, they're able to exploit that with the likes of Claire Gorman and Clara Barrett on the edges. So I think it's just a bit of patience. They were so unfortunate with that pass to hand over definitely here and a quick turnover, but that's what the Wolfhounds can do.
So here we go. The Wolfhounds, it's been played at a very fast pace so far. Great run, Linda de John. Wolfhounds battering away. They kind of cross the gain line with every carry. That's what they give as well. There's pace, but there's also real power in there as well.
Yeah, that was a big carry there from Fiona Chewett, and also somebody who's obviously involved in the Six Nations panel, so she'll be looking to put her hand up for sure.
And here's Jigang again. This time a good knockback tackle, good double. It took two Clovers to and keeping going there. There's no No giving in the ruck time. More big hits. Great hit by Hellman. And a turnover. Nice turnover. Hellman again. And a turnover for the Wolfhounds this time. Great work on the floor. India Daly there. As you mentioned, just versatile as a forward.
Yeah,
playing in that back row category, just loose in the loose. Nikki Cockey, she always looks like she's got more time on the ball than anyone else on the pitch. Just seems to drift around and create space. Oh, look at that. A little bit of a hole down the middle. Turn of pace again. Oh, lovely offload. Jigang there did brilliantly. The prop forward, hammering forward. Suddenly the Wolfhounds aggressive on their attack. Whelan all slows down a wee bit. Whelan happy enough to let her forwards take it. And when they do that, that's another creeping ever forward, ever forward. Jigang again. Just stopped short of the line. Yes, it's a top down. That's very clever play. Surely that... Ooh. Oh, knocked forward. I was watching that going, surely it touched the bottom of the post. Very clever play. You saw what she was going to do almost before she did it, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, they'll not be too happy with themselves. Wolfhounds coming into that green zone and not coming away with points, but fair play to the Clovers. Just kind of interested in their tackling. They're just falling off. It seems like a lot of soak tackles. I'd love to see a bit more aggression. We saw one really good big dominant hit. Can we get more consistency in that? Because they're just allowing Wolfhounds to edge their way up the field. It's just too easy, I think.
Yeah, the dominant hit I think was a double hit as well, wasn't it? 2-on-1, and you that's grand, but it can only last you so long in a game. You having to commit 2 to every tackle.
Yeah.
But the Clovers, this will be interesting. First scrum, good solid scrum for the Clovers there, and a good pick up off the base by Tui and away by Ailsa Hughes. And here we go. Lovely pick and go round the fringes. Ellen Boylan there. Good carry back. And just as the Clovers thought they'd cleared their lines, Wolfhounds are back into it again. This is what they'll do. They'll just pin you down and put you under pressure. They may have come away without points the first time. Great carries. And now it's all about that mixture of control and patience. Jigang taking it in again there. What a run from her there. The last carry that she did, it was incredible. That's what you need from your pack. Support play as well. Hannah O'Connor. And lovely ball presentation. O'Connor hitting it down, giving ball just on a plate. That's exactly what they need. Nice quick ball. Change of direction. A little bit of an opportunity on. Is she going to get through? Oh, that's a brilliant try. And that was not easy. That had to be powered over, change of direction, quick feet.
Yeah, very good by Kelly, and I'm just delighted for her. You know, obviously, can be pretty nerve-wracking coming into what is a, you know, like pretty much a final day for them. But she had a big job to do. Great footwork. Beating about 3 or 4 defenders.
Yeah, because there wasn't anything on there. Sure, there wasn't. It was.
Yeah.
She really changed direction, and 3 Clovers players drifted off to the right, and the line she cut.
Yeah, they just shot off. In fairness, it was really good game management by Nikki, keeping it tight in the forwards. Really big dominant ball carries, edging the way in, sucked the Clovers in, and then a quick switch of play. Kelly's through.
Goodness, in some ways I didn't see this game going this way so early. We've got 2 tries, bum bum, and the Wolfhounds have really stamped their dominance on this already.
Do you know where that's come from though, Graham? Like, for me, like really per kick exit. You know, we just made it beyond the 22 from Elsie Hughes. The kicks didn't have the length, or we didn't find touch, and then we're in panic stations again inside 22. And look, the Wolfhounds, one of their biggest work-ons has been kind of that execution inside the 22. So the Clovers, we need to just kick and play in the right areas of the field.
So Flannery, a bit shorter again this time. Something for the Clovers to chase, but the Wolfhounds now have it. And that's a very decent kick. Great catch though by Corey. So Clovers have an opportunity here. Good carry, Dorothy Wall again. And this time putting the ball in the air. As we knock on, so the Clovers maybe could take advantage of that. Good hands. Flannery just thought about that. It's all the way out to Gorman. Gorman does very well to keep that ball alive. Just keeps pumping the legs, makes that extra yard or two. Hughes tries to spot a little bit of a gap there, but yes, offside. And she's a sort of scrum half there who will look for those little runs, won't she? You live wire around the sides.
Yeah, look, Elsa Hughes, she's a really good passing game. She's also a very good sniping line. She is, one of the things is her cheat line's really good following up, and the only thing is we need to get good go forward ball so she can actually get in behind and run those trail lines. But they're in a really good position here now. I'm excited to see what they launch from here.
And in some ways that go forward ball was where that penalty came from, because they kept driving the legs. Gorman down that, and that got that go forward. That's what caused the Wolfhounds to be offside.
Yeah.
So here we go, line out. Nice clean line out, going for the drive, taking the Wolfhounds on. I don't know if you can hear this here. The communication is fantastic there in that driving mall. Listen to their Clovers pack, and they're really motoring forward.
So connected, aren't they?
They've really worked on that. And there is Elsie Hughes. Little bit of a half and then absolutely melted in a tackle. But it's a real opportunity for the Clovers. Some super play. And what are we going back for here?
Number 5.
5 in the wrong side, was maybe from that ruck, but tell you that was outstanding, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fantastic. Great vision from Elsie Hughes to follow up, great footwork, beating a few Wolfhound defenders there, playing in behind. I just love to see a little bit more reaction to that kind of turnover, speed to set. So we're looking a little bit rigid on the ball from a Clovers perspective. Can we move on to the ball with pace? So you're 5 metres out, we don't want to take that ball static.
I get the feeling there's only one way this is going to go after the last driving maul. So here we go.
What do you mean, Graham?
I don't know what, but tell you what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's always and look, the second who drives on, and the whitewash is close. Oh, and that's an outstanding try from the Clovers. Oh, there's smiles all around, and that was phenomenally worked.
I think it was Roisin Ormond there.
Oh, is that who was at the end of it? Brilliant. Well, it was just well worked, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Really good connections.
It was definitely Roisin Ormond. She just it was the way it splintered off, but the Clovers just were able to keep that power going, keep control, because that's hard when it breaks off. There could be nothing there. And
absolutely, the control and the body height. I think, as you said it as well, the communication. We could hear it from up here. That's what they're good at. So can they keep doing that and playing in the right areas of the field? And we'll have a cracking game on here.
And it was, as you say, it was crucial for the game. If the Wolfhounds had got the next score, that's a very difficult thing to come back from. But this becomes quite an important kick. Yeah. And she struck that beautifully. There you go, straight over, right through the sticks. So it's 14-7 and we're back in it.
And the last time they met, Graham, I suppose, it was 3 tries piece. The only thing that obviously separated the two teams was the goal kicking. So I think it's a massive opportunity as well for Kate to stand up and take those goal kicks. Yeah. So fair play.
Stroked that one over. So here we go, 17 minutes in. I hope you're enjoying it at home. It's a lovely day here at the Kingspan Stadium in Belfast, the second playoff game in the Celtic Challenge. Ailsa Hughes grabs that. Good take by her. Oh, a little bit of a break there. Corey again. She's been huge so far in the opening quarter of this game. Some great runs and great carries. And another little break. Fantastic. That's away again. Who's going to catch her? Oh, Tui just couldn't get the offload away, and Wolfhounds have it. Brilliant break from Tui. This game is being played at a phenomenal pace. Both sides really going at it. Clovers have broken through the Wolfhounds line on 3 or 4 occasions already. Wolfhounds kick it away. Good catch by Corey. Nice step, powerful handoff. Clovers again. Just got that good mix of power and patience. There is space out wide if they can use it. Didn't quite go to hand. Gorman going to be under a huge amount of pressure. Does very well there. Ellen Boylan right on her. Hughes maybe looking for the box kick here. No, going to give it back.
Green, stay.
And that's a big kick. Lovely little pass, great bit of play. Katie Heffernan. And yes, just coming in off the feet there. It was.
Yeah, that was just a bit sloppy now, to be honest. Not needed.
Yeah, it's not in the middle of the pitch, not in that position.
No,
but
because it's just an easy in for the Wolfhounds now. You know what we're going to see: kick for touch, line out, maul, and you know we're under a lot of Clovers under a lot of pressure. But you know what? I really, on a positive, love and see the versatility of this Clovers attack. We've seen line break on the edge. We're moving the ball to the edges. We're playing with width, and then the lovely tips line to Shannon Toohey. The thing is there now, the reactions. Can we be reactive to that? Can the Clovers react, and can we get that support there early?
I have to say as well, Larissa, you're doing very well to contain yourself. I can see the hand. The hands are you want to be out there. You're like, get up.
Absolutely not.
Quite happy where you are.
Yeah, I'm happy here now, yeah. Just very passionate.
It is a different view of the game though from this position, isn't it?
Oh, it's a lot easier standing up here and saying than being out there playing. So fair play to everyone out there.
And now it's the Wolfhounds who put the power on in the pack. And eventually it comes down Whelan. Gets away. That's a great carry by Bowles. Crossing the gain line every single time. Ball on a plate. Jugang again there, such a crucial ball carrier. The Clovers defence just has to be so focused. They've got to be eyes on to where the threat is. And they've got to be up fast right in the faces of the Wolfhounds, because if they're not, the gain line will definitely be crossed. Those little tight balls, look at that. 3 Wolfhounds driving away within a metre now underneath the sticks. Good carry by Daly. Good defence so far, but you kind of feel that, yes, it was coming. Hannah O'Connor this time powers over. You just felt it was coming. It's so powerful.
Yeah, look, it's such a shame. It all came from obviously a penalty here. You know, from the breakdown that probably wasn't needed. Kick to touch, line out. They're just keeping it tight and really direct. You know, it's not rocket science. From a Clovers perspective, you know what is coming when that ball is in their red zone and the Wolfhounds green zone inside that 22. But for me, they're just losing the collisions. They're not aggressive enough. They need to slow down that ball. The ruck speed's too quick for the Wolfhounds. They're allowing them time to get around, get set. So for me, a big thing is how can the Clovers now just play in the right areas? They need to be playing in Wolfhounds half and getting down there and using their dominance of maul and scrum. But also that, you know, they're playing to edges here as well. Fantastic kick from Nikki Coy.
Yeah, just drifted that in right to left, just swung it around, wee smile, job done. There you go, 3 tries, 3 conversions. As you say, that extra 6 points, it just keeps that scoreline ticking over, doesn't it?
Yeah, and if I'm right in saying they'll get one more try, bonus point.
Exactly, that bonus point is pretty much has them nailed on then for the trophy. Just a wee reminder then that the Wolfhounds are 4 points clear of Edinburgh. At the end, I think they probably need another point just to secure it, because maybe mathematically Edinburgh can get back at them, but
Stay on your feet. No hands, 5, no
and there's Wolfhounds had to go digging for that one.
Stay blue, stay.
Another deep ball, great take, edge of the fingers stretch there from Corey. Corey's been outstanding under the high ball so far. She's
been as safe as a house, hasn't she? Like,
yeah,
really great takes.
And there's the knock on though. It's just that constant pressure, isn't it? Constant pressure.
And do you know what? Look, 21-7 up. You're going to be playing now with a little bit more confidence from a Wolfhounds perspective. So they just have to stay in the game. They'll probably go after the rooks now, try and slow that ball down. But the Clovers just don't want this to slip away from them, because I do still think it's within them.
Yep, definitely. Well, we've seen, I mean, you couldn't count on one hand the number of breaks the Clovers have had. They really have opened them up, and the opportunities are there. They've certainly got the pace as well.
Yeah.
So, like, especially in the centres as well. We've seen that, with I think Barrett's done a brilliant job coming in there at 13 so far for the Clovers.
Yeah, and look, it's actually the Clovers themselves, a per kick exit,
Yes.
a really per turnover or penalty here on the 10-metre line allows them quick entry into 22. It's all controllable by the Clovers. Discipline.
Oh, look at that. That's a good tackle around the ankles. Wolfhounds were threatening to fire off again. Good powerful running, good tackle. Shouting for it out wide. Cocky holds onto it. Good press defence there from the Clovers, forcing that.
See once again there, Graham, the contact skills, the latching from the Wolfhounds. They're just getting those extra metres every time they ball in hand.
Oh, and Elsa Hughes there. She needed to get that hand on shirt, because the Wolfhounds were away again just every single time. That little offload, there's possibility of 2-on-1, good hands. Good take there, O'Connor driving through, gives the offload, Boyne away. The captain in 7 making her presence felt. Wolfhounds again on the hunt. Bulls again. And again, look at that ball presentation, straight there, no hassle at all. To it. 1 metre away, here we go. Wolfhounds again, look, there's that latch drive. Pushing, powering, just short this time. Just work. It's OL as units, but this time they don't need the unit. It's straight over, the attacks can come from anywhere.
Yeah, Katie Whelan, also a very lethal weapon there from a sniping 9. Really good vision on her side. Obviously noticed there was no pillar there, took the gap. Really, really well done.
I think as well, Clovers are having to commit so many people to those tackles, because, like, as you say, they're latching on, you can see it, and you're maybe having to put 3 or 4 into every hit, and it's just so draining, it just leaves you short. Yeah,
I think their contact skills is just, it's just not a match now for the ball carrying of the Wolfhounds. There's just a lot of soak tackles. The dominance is in the ball carrying, and they went through really good phase play there, variety in it. Han O'Connor on the wing here, 2-on-1, really good support play from Molly Boyne.
As well, the back rows just kind of, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, then they revert to their tight shapes around the corner. So very well deserved and very well worked try from the Wolfhounds.
And compounded again by that boot of Cocky, just will not let anyone get away with it. 28 points to 7 already. We're seeing some incredible rugby from both sides, but the Wolfhounds so far have been just utterly impressive, haven't they? They've been just dominant.
Yeah, they've just been taking their opportunities, and I think, from a defence point of view, if I was Clovers coach now, you just wouldn't be happy with that kind of aggression, and one-on-one tackles.
Now here's an opportunity, and that's the same sort of thing, just holding on the ground, and O'Dowd getting stuck in this time.
Yeah, we know, especially against Edinburgh, they went after their rooks, and I think it's something that the Clovers probably need to look at, and especially to slow down that kind of fast pace, that rook speed from the Wolfhounds. I wonder what they're going to go for here now, Graham. What's your thoughts?
Oh, probably simple off the top, give it to the backs. Well, that to be fair, their driving maul is just it's an effective weapon, and they've worked on it so well, and there's such control. Ruth Campbell, another Irish squad representative. You could probably say that continually throughout the commentary, but like you such a presence, and you can see why. She's just kind of controlling things from that front, directing. And she's not just standing there, but underneath that, it's like the duck in the water. She'll be powering away. Lovely little offload. Great work by Hellman. Hughes again. Tui. Good carry again. Dorothy Wall, another Irish squad representative in the engine room. Now there's some that's a big dominant tackle there. It's just that knocking them backwards, but it's all about patience here. There is space out in the wing. Can they get it all the way out there? Yes, they can. Good cover defence though from the Wolfhounds. McInerney just caught short. And yes, definitely. Oh, that was that way, yeah. Ailsa Hughes, you'd always know she's going to be doing that. Just looking back on why.
She's always looking for that opportunity. Look, once again, I think from a Clovers perspective, this is where this is the area of the fields that they want to play in. They didn't get that shunt on that second one in the maul. We used Brianna on the edge there, really good footwork. It's just their speed and the connections around the corner, I think, can be a little bit quicker. They're just letting the Wolfhounds set. But overall, like, really, really good attack. Hopefully they come away with some points here now inside the 22.
There's nothing. I mean, the first half an hour, they have created opportunities. I think the other difference is just that if the Wolfhounds have an opportunity, they take it and they capitalise. And the Clovers are the thing that you're going to be so happy about from a Clovers perspective is that they are creating opportunities. They're bursting through the line. They're making things happen. Just making those final connections is really the difference at the minute.
Yeah, it's just like that last pass, and did they need to just play another phase with the forwards around the corner and keep it simple? Like the Wolfhounds are just keeping it simple, drawing it in. Really, really. What I've noticed from them, the intent in their ball carrying is exceptional. They want that extra meter,
So a tap and go. No thoughts of going to the line out this time. It's just keep the ball in hand. Let's really pile the pressure on. Hughes, and a bit of a crossfield kick. Where's it going to come up? Was that knocked on there? Was that Andrew Mitchell was right on it? No, it's Wolfhounds. Ball's out. Wolfhounds happy to give it a rattle from their own line.
We just spoke about kind of, that patience and attack, and I don't think that crossfield kick was on there now. We just need to play through the phases and be direct.
Yeah.
Get your big ball carriers, get your Dorothy Wall, your Ruth, your Fates on the ball.
And Wolfhounds, cleared, but Wolfhounds still in the zone. I think when you get to the score line that it is at the minute, there's maybe a sort of pressure comes to score quick rather than be patient. It's kind of hard to realise that actually you've got 50 minutes. Take your time. If a score takes 5 minutes in the build-up, that's no problem.
Absolutely, and look, Kate obviously coming through the under-18s, the 20s last summer. She's still so young, and she still obviously is learning through her games. And I think this has given her loads and loads of confidence going forward, and obviously being named as a training panelist going into Six Nations.
Well, I was about to say that. That's such a great thing to have. You're not going to be starting in the Six Nations, but you're part of that setup. You're starting to realise what it'll take for your game to be elevated to the next level.
Absolutely, and you're playing with the top level players, and learning off them. I think that's really, really important within that environment.
So big scrum here for the Wolfhounds, just to try and clear their lines. It's hard to know. It's the sort of thing that you can kind of see. It's hard to know. Perfect weather conditions, you can kind of see the Wolfhounds having a run from here. No thoughts to just kick clear.
I say they'll use Katie Heffernan, number 12 here. 8-12.
There's O'Connor. That's a lovely line. Beautiful line. And what a handoff. Just scribed it last minute, but there's the support right on the shoulder. Beautiful running. Big tackle in the end, but Claire Bowles manages to hold on to it. Nice little play. Wolfhounds just so dangerous. To it again. Takes that into contact. Slowed down a little bit. Incredible play from the Wolfhounds. Some great lines of running. Clovers did well to scramble defence. And in the end, it's sealing it off. Gives the impetus back to the Clovers again, but some lovely lines of running there by the Wolfhounds, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, fantastic and really good. What I loved is the pace and the intent onto the ball. They're not taking it static, which we saw a little bit in the first kind of 10 to 15 minutes, and that could be nerves as well. There's a good bit to play for out there today. So
and the support play. I mean, somebody makes a break. There was a blind pass in the middle of that. There was just kind of like a pass to the side. Just knowing that somebody would be there.
Yeah.
It's not. I hope there's somebody being there. You just know you're going to have players to either side.
Yeah, it was really good variety of attack and play from the scrum. The wealth of experience that Hannah O'Connor brings. She looks so patient on the ball.
Yeah.
Really good line from Katie Heffernan, and then the support with Molly Boyne coming back in. We've seen a lot from that today from her. So it's really excited to see her ability to stay within the game. Look for those second touches.
Yeah, the back row has particularly has worked very hard on the carrying, the offloading. Great work rate being put in.
Captain option.
So we're not too sure what's happening from the Clovers' perspective.
Line out.
It's interesting that Hughes is taking the kick rather than Flannery. I'm not too sure really what was happening there, but. Either way, it's missed touch, and it's going to be a Wolfhounds ball, almost driven in again, but the Wolfhounds have it anyway. Just big ball carries across the gain line. Christy Haney this time. Try against Edinburgh last week in the playoffs, and there's another break. Lovely through the middle. Incredible running by the big second row. Fiona Toot there, they can run from anywhere. I was talking about the back row, but here's another one. Katie Whelan, away she goes as well. Clovers screaming, they've done well to get their defence back in line again, but the Wolfhounds just so dangerous, and you just think once they get into this 22, there's only one potential outcome. Katie Whelan gives it off.
Yeah, it was a fantastic line by Fiona Toot, wasn't it?
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Just that turn of pace, but then the ability for the rest of the players to get round to recycle really.
Yeah. Interesting fact, she used to play back three.
Is that right? There you go.
She's a
another
fantastic
versatile
athlete.
player.
Yeah, excelled in so many different positions.
Good pick, India Daly. Just keeping the gain line moving, as I say, and another. Look, I mean, every time you're doing a carry, you're getting an extra metre. Molly Boyne again. Katie Whelan just not having to dig for the ball. India Daly there, powering the legs again, but Judang right on the shoulder there, and almost within a fraction of yet another try.
Look how narrow the Clovers are there.
Yeah, there's space for a quick move, but they may not need it. Bowles almost when this it is going to be held up. I thought they'd maybe got that back into the field to play again, but they got away. But there's a sort of sense of inevitability when the Wolfhounds get motoring, isn't there?
Yeah, especially inside. And do you know what? They're really clinical once they are getting into the 22 today, which has definitely been, I think, something that Neil has been going at, and Michelle Claffey. So, like, unbelievable continuity of play. They're just keeping it really simple and direct.
Yeah.
But one thing, like, they're not being put under the pressure from the Clovers, not seeing the aggressive line speed and then the aggressive, like, collisions, the dominance within that. So,
I mean, it means that you sort of kind of know that even if you've got a 1-off, 2-off runner, you're going to cross the gain line. I mean, that's a big carry again, right back in the danger zone. And suddenly there's a little bit of space if they can shift it out left. Good carry again. Lovely hand sidestep, good tackle.
Bit high from Kate Flannery there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of space right inside, and that's brilliantly worked. Katie Whelan, ever the sniper, round the sides, and it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Just keeps coming.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic vision, but really good ball carry there from Keelan Brady. A quick ruck from Katie Whelan. Another big carry. Obviously, they had the penalty advantage. No pillar.
Yeah.
Claire Gorman was caught napping, and that's what you want your nines doing. Fantastic take from Katie Whelan.
You watched every ruck in that series, and the ball positions the women got into were like they got down onto the ground, ball was placed, on a plate for the scrum half. It's so difficult to keep that defence up when rucks are being done at that pace.
But I think if we even bring it back, they're losing the contact zones. The Clovers are losing the contact zone.
It's easier to get that
So
nice
it's
ball
easier,
presentation whenever you're not
they're getting extra
yeah.
meters, boom, quick body ball placement, and it's really difficult to live with that ruck speed.
How do you adjust that at this stage in the game, or maybe we're at the stage of half time? You just need to. Is it a need for fresh body at this point to bring on someone who can give you that? Is it a mentality thing that you've just got to go, look, we need to change that? How do you change that at this point in a game?
Yeah, look, all these players are on the field for a reason. They have it within them. I don't know if the mindset is kind of shifted, between that kind of second, third try. You could see a little bit of composure just lost. We saw executions, a crossfield kick when they're not needed. Just playing and having patience in their system for them from a Clovers perspective. But I think the Wolfhounds are just taking every opportunity. They're being ruthless out there.
And maybe, to be honest, for the Wolfhounds, I mean, they almost lost against Edinburgh last week. To be fair, they almost kind of in some senses felt they were cruising through this competition until they hit a potent Edinburgh side last week. They were 12 points down with not that long to go, and they managed to scrabble a draw, and maybe all of a sudden they've gone, that's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And we're now, Clovers are the unfortunate side who are on the back of the retaliation for that.
Yeah, I know. They definitely have the wind behind their back today. Obviously scoring 2 tries in the last 4 minutes against Edinburgh, but to be that ruthless and to go out and do it, it just shows the mindset within this team. What I'm just, obviously the last time they met was only 21-15. The Wolfhounds 3 tries apiece. We're now 5 tries in. Yeah, 5-1. It's I just hope it doesn't slip away from the Clovers and they stay within it.
And that'll be the mindset, won't it? That will be the kind of we've got to keep going at this. Reset at half time. You don't want to concede any more before half time. But here we go, as the Wolfhounds go again, all the way out. Boylan this time. Look at the big handle from Boylan. Keeps the ball alive, though, stays in play. Whelan, who's been just so instrumental there. And yes, I think that was an easy one for Andrew Mitchell to call right in front of his face there, that wee knock on. Gives at least the Clovers the ball. In some ways, they might just take the scrum, set it up, kick it out. Let's go in and reset.
Readjust. What I love there is, they actually got off the line. They met the Wolfhounds with, severe line speed. I said there'd be a few changes potentially at half time.
Yeah, in some ways you might as well. You kind of, either that or you kind of let people know you've got 10 minutes of a absolute blast out. And
yeah, well, if I was Clovers, you'd want to be bringing on somebody like really aggressive tackler and to go after the breakdown. You need to slow down that Wolfhound breakdown. So you're probably looking at maybe the likes of a Maeve O'Leary being introduced. Claire Bennett's done particularly well. Jane Clohessy. We could see the introduction of Myrna Wall, Nicole Fowley from a game management. Kate Flannery can also go to 12. There are options there, but they might need just to readdress.
There's fourth official Jonathan Peake there, just watching on. He'll be, as you say, busy in the second half, I would have thought, reeling the substitutes out. And speaking of which...
9.
I was going to say they're enjoying their afternoon in the sunshine, but
I must say
not so much.
It's a beautiful setting here, though, Graham. What a day for it.
If you haven't been to the Kingspan Stadium before, it's a fantastic stadium. You get down for a game, and interestingly, Ireland will be playing one of their Six Nations matches here against Scotland in the latter stages. So I highly recommend getting down to support either of those two sides. It'll be fantastic. It's an afternoon kickoff, very much like this, so it'll be treated hopefully to another festival of rugby. Oh, and a little, just that last wee bit, just you can see the kind of disappointment the Clovers faces every time they start to get something going. It's just a little bit disconnect at the end.
Yeah, look, they're just a little bit flat there from an attack point of view. I thought Eve Corey did really well to get outside that 13 channel. Really good footwork. It's just those last passes, they're not sitting. But I think maybe a half-time little talk. reassess situation, maybe a few changes, and come out. They've nothing to lose.
Exactly, you've got nothing to lose. You just go out, you enjoy, you put a bit of. The Clovers have another game next week. This is the Wolfhounds' last game, and if things stay the way they're going, then the Wolfhounds will win the whole Celtic Championship, win the trophy. The Clovers will realise, hold on, we're going away to Wales to play Edinburgh next weekend. So next weekend's the last weekend of the playoffs. There'll be more, I would have thought, on Rugby Pass TV for you next weekend of those last few fixtures. Gwalia Lightning against Brighton Thunder. And then to finish with, we've got the Clovers against Edinburgh. So we've got two cracking games for you again next weekend. And the Clovers, they'll definitely want to have this second half as a real setup for next weekend, won't they? And as much as anything, because Edinburgh are a very good side. And there's a little bit of space here out wide. Boylan again. It's just that big right handoff, from Eva Ryder this time.
No, that was Ellen Boylan.
That was Boylan.
Yeah, it was. You're right. You're right
honest,
first time.
These yellow numbers on white are they're not doing my eyesight. They're not good for my eyesight. They need to get red numbers. I thought I recognised the big handoff. She's been incredible. Now here's a wee bit of opportunity. Will we get a Clovers turnover? And here's a bit of a chase on, but look at the pace. There's only going to be one person. Just belt that ball out and let's go to half-time. Thanks very much. Well, there you go. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed the first half. It may not be the closest of matches, and in some ways it's good to see a little bit of you can see what it means to these players anyway. And it's 33 points to 7. We've had 5 tries from the Wolfhounds. Corrigan, McCormill, O'Connor, Whelan and Hughes. From a Wolfhounds perspective, you're going 5 tries, 5 different players. It just shows the wealth of talent and experience across that Wolfhounds team, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the versatility in their attack, their sniping opportunities. I think they've looked really dangerous once they've got inside that 22. A turnover. We saw the first electric try from the likes of Katie Corrigan.
Incredible. Yeah.
The ability to keep tight from the forwards and from set pieces going particularly well as well. So they're taking their opportunities.
Yeah.
From a Clovers perspective, they've got to come out and they've got to win the collision. And I think from a defence point of view, they've got to get off the line and literally just pin it in behind. And I think the likes of Nicole Fowley might introduce that bit of game management and pinning the ball in the right areas. But we'll definitely be on for a really good second half, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we'll leave you to enjoy the minis. We'll take off. You can enjoy this and get yourself a wee cup of tea at half time. Join us in the second half, and I would imagine it'll be a good old ding dong to see, can the Wolfhounds clinch the Celtic Challenge and lift the trophy at the end of this afternoon. Welcome back. Welcome to the Kingspan Stadium in Belfast. If you're just joining us, as the Wolfhounds take to the hallowed turf up here at Ulster Rugby. Welcome, especially if you're joining us from across the water, Scotland, Wales. Hope you've enjoyed the matches earlier on as well, as we hit the last half of this afternoon in this Celtic challenge. We see the Wolfhounds coming out. The Wolfhounds have the potential to wrap up the championship today and lift the trophy, and they've certainly put a marker down in the first half. My name's Graham Dewhurst. I'll be taking you through the commentary this afternoon, but beside me, Larissa Muldoon. It's been an interesting first half, isn't it? The Wolfhounds have certainly put a marker down, haven't they?
Absolutely. And look, I think probably coming into this, I thought we would see more of a competitive battle between the two. However, look, the final whistle hasn't gone. And I think from a Clovers perspective, if we're looking at three areas, from an attack point of view, they have to build through the phases in the right areas and trust their shape. But they have to win that contact zone in attack. And then defensively, we've just seen a lot of kind of falling off the collisions, soak tackles. So can we be more aggressive? Can they be more aggressive? And then the territory. They've got to play in the right areas of the field. Don't overplay within their half. Get into the Wolfhounds, because, you know, their maul, their set piece is their power weapon. And the Wolfhounds, they've just got to, you know, stick to their power game. It's been working. Their speed of ruck is fantastic. Their offloading game, we've seen such great variations of their attack. Keep going.
It's incredible.
You know, keep the foot on the pedal. And then I think the main thing is, you know, they're well ahead now, is to enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
you
that
know,
is
they're
true.
in a good place.
Yeah. I suppose both sides in some ways, you'll kind of want to go out, go and enjoy it, but the Clovers will want to get stuck in and start getting some of the patterns that they actually have worked on actually in principle. They started off incredibly well. If you missed those first few minutes, you missed a Clover side who were on fire, pushing down the line, and then all of a sudden, bang, turnover, Corrigan sprints the length of the pitch. And you kind of think if they'd got a score at that point in the game, it may have changed the whole flavour of that first half.
Yeah, it's interesting to really understand that mental battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's sport, and you've got to learn through these kind of like high-pressured games.
And here we are, back at it again. So second half, just in case you're joining us, it's the Clovers playing in green and red. Both sides obviously have the Irish badge on, and the Wolfhounds being led by Eva Ryder. And away she goes, cruising through. Wolfhounds, I was about to say the Wolfhounds starting the second half very much as they left off the first. Ailsa Hughes isn't going to let the grass grow, and once again she's been pulled back, just not quite through the mark.
Yeah, it's just interesting, obviously, with Maeve Daly being ruled out today. Normally she'd be sitting in the pocket for those kind of kick exits. You know, Kate Flannery, not a massive amount of length on that kind of kick. I think the actual kick chase was really poor from the Clovers, and but great opportunity for Ava to take that space if they're going to give it.
And they'll probably sort of got away with that a little bit there. You know, it was a huge break by Ryder, and we're used almost in the first half seeing when somebody in blue and white makes a break, there's a swathe of players on either side to support. That she was away on her own that time.
Yeah, look, I do think it obviously came from the kick execution, whether we're finding touch or finding turf, but we needed Clovers needed better chase there.
And the ball just slips through the hands of the Clovers, and suddenly the Wolfhounds we've got a knock-on advantage, but Wolfhounds a real opportunity. Interesting, going blind wasn't quite the space, and well, O'Connor spotted the fact that there wasn't much space. We'll change direction there, so we're going to go back to the knock-on advantage. It's a beautiful day here in Belfast. It's just starting in the evening, so the Wolfhounds I expected a few more high balls maybe up in the air, because they really had the sun to deal with. You'll see now that while the sun is now set over the top, the floodlights are on, so it evens it out a little bit.
Just to note, Maeve Clenaghan gone into there now to the hooker position, and India Daly's gone to 7.
The versatility of the brilliant to see. Here we go, Wolfhounds spot a little snipe round the side. That early try scorer who we mentioned earlier, Kitty Corrigan there. Christy Haney, another Irish squad representative, powerful running here by the Wolfhounds, and that's what sort of symbolised their first half. Little bubbling ball, but well gathered up again. Tight wall, Heffernan staying strong to make sure she has ball on the plate to Whelan. Just a little bit slower, a little bit of patience now from the Wolfhounds. Haney again. Forwards getting heavily involved. O'Connor over the ball now. There's India Daly before now. O'Connor, anyone can play at the scrum half position. The Wolfhounds again, a little bit of a change direction, a little bit of a turn of pace. Ailsa Hughes, she thought about that there. She wasn't too sure what she was going into. Oh, that basketball pass. Look at that over the top. Oh, the skill levels. Wow, there's big celebration for that one. That's phenomenal. Katie Corrigan gets her second, but that was all about this lovely little basketball style pass. Ailsa Hughes there, she wasn't too keen in that one, but tell you what, O'Connor's hands, that's a
Sonny Bill
treat.
Williams.
Sonny Bill, that's
one hand.
Brilliant,
like,
yes.
Yeah, like, you know, taking the ball. She's been everywhere there today. Fantastic skill and really good switch of play from Katie Corrigan. Obviously, they were on a drifty to switch back in.
Yeah.
Good footwork. But like the opportunity there from the initial ruck was on. Come through, take that space, take the ball. Ailsa Hughes had an opportunity there, so we're just not seeing that aggression, you know, falling off the tackles ever so slightly, and just not taking that space at the ruck. We need to slow down that ruck.
But a huge amount of patience from the Wolfhounds. Just, they were in that territory for a lot longer than usual there. And yes, claims the extra points. That's a great nudge. Takes the scoreline to 40, and certainly not the start that the Clovers would have wanted.
No, do you know what? Fair play to Nikki Cohey. Really good game management, keeping it tight, knowing when to switch the play, and she just got a really good read of the game.
Yeah.
You know.
No substitutes yet from what I can see for the Clovers. That was a good big double hit. That was the sort of aggressive contact that you were looking for there.
Yeah, more of that, because then that leads to that.
Yeah,
and that's what you want to see.
Forces the clearance kick, a little bit rushed. Now the Clovers have it in the right possession.
And look where they are, you know, coming into that 22 entry.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be playing rugby.
That was O'Dowd, I think, one of the big tacklers there. Just kept pumping the legs as well. So Beth Buttermer to put the ball in. She scored a try against the Wolfhounds in that earlier fixture. Up it goes. Really nice line out. Great take by Dorothy Wall. Lovely line. Lovely ball by Hughes. Hellman hits it. Super play by the Clovers. Now there's suddenly something on. Picking going around the fringes. Ormond is close. Hughes has a little bit of a dart. See something on. Good tackling by the Wolfhounds. Scramble defence looking well. Clovers right through the middle. Oh, and there's the try. Beth Buttermer, I mentioned just moments ago, try against the Wolfhounds. She must have heard me. She got another.
Yeah, like look, that all came from a really good dominant hit, double hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, a lot of kick pressure, and then really good set piece launch from their line out. Yep. I thought Brianna ran a really good line there from the seams of the line out. Really good footwork. Quick ruck.
Yeah.
That's what you want to play.
Quick
You want
ruck.
to play on
Absolutely.
top of teams. You know, we don't want to let the Wolfhounds get set. So really, really good attack. And fair play to Beth. Took her opportunity when it came.
Yeah, and she saw it and took it really well, because you know, we've seen a few of those where people dive for the line and get held up, and you know, then you lose a turnover and da-da-da-da. And good kick for the extras.
Game on, Graham.
Yes, that's it.
The comeback is on. The comeback is on.
we were talking earlier about, well, you know, if how much the Clovers need to win by. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, here, look, we're getting a treat of rugby anyway. There's been a wealth of tries right across the park, and it's a thoroughly enjoyable match to watch.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of girls putting their hands up, and especially just kind of slotting in, maybe not getting as much game time as others, but they're really, really excelling, putting in good performances.
Wolfhounds with a deep one. Hughes goes for the box kick this time. Keen to get her forwards into position just so she can get that little bit of extra space. Now Wolfhounds on the halfway line. There's a little bit of space out right if they can use it. Lovely offloads there. That was fantastic work. And here we go, all the way out. Slips a tackle all the way. Corrigan hat trick. They make it look easy, don't they? They make it look easy.
Very, very well worked try. And I must say, Hannah
O'Connor, I was going to say, it was really all about her, wasn't it?
She's just popping up in areas. Obviously, I think she used to play 10, back in the day. But, just really soft skills, really good read of the game. And that's what your winger is, one-on-one. Really good competitive battle on the edge.
And that's the danger when you get to this later stage in the game, that with tired legs and you've got a pace person like that on a wing. If you get them the ball, as you say, I mean, there was not space there, but Corrigan's just lethal.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the Wolfhounds' ability to keep the ball alive. I think their continuity of play has been really, so many times we watch teams and it's just ruck after ruck. Their ability, their footwork, they're accelerating into contact, and the support play has been really good today. And I think that's led to a lot of their tries.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, it's exciting rugby as well, isn't it?
It really is exciting. I mean, that was just a joy to watch. I mean, when you're watching O'Connor run, that was the most exciting bit of that. Corrigan, of course, took it brilliantly well with the footwork around the sides, and but here we go, a raft of changes now for the Clovers. That must have been a tactical. Let everybody have a 10-minute blast, and then we'll bring on fresh legs.
Yeah, I see the introduction of Megan Collis to the front row, Nicole Foley to 10, Jane Clossy into the back row, and I believe Maeve O'Leary as well.
So here we go, a raft of changes. All we need now is a new ball. Here we go. I'm not too sure what else we're waiting for here. Here we go. I think we're making sure that we have, because there was a lot of changes there. I don't think McInerney knew she was going off there, but so here we go. Nicola Foley then. The Galwegians player to get that underway. And she can fairly smoke that ball. That's a huge kick. Corrigan's just wrapped up this time. Wow.
Yeah.
Those were big hits.
Great length in the kick.
Wasn't
really
it?
Deep kick, deep inside their 22, and that's the kick Chase want.
Yeah.
Fantastic from Clara Barrett, really good up front on tackle.
And the interesting thing was that had an identical feel about it to the score that they had. That good kick, massive, big, aggressive hit, and then a set piece, and we'll see what happens from here. And here's O'Leary, gets the ball in, and just goes astray at the back. And we're going to, looks like a knock-on. Nothing comes from the knock-on, so knock-on from the Wolfhounds, and the Clovers get a sort of, no, it's a double knock-on, sorry, my bad. So it's going to be a Wolfhound scrum. Nothing came from that one.
A few changes there in the back line, Graham. So Nicole Foley into 10, Kate Flannery, as I said, can't play 12, she's gone to 12, and Kayla's gone to 13, with Clara on one wing, and Claire Gorman and Aoife Corey 15. Don't think there's any changes in the Wolfhound.
No, I was going to say that, which is you kind of think sort of strange in some ways at the score line as it is, but they've certainly got talent on their bench as well, and I'm sure they will be introduced at some point. But look at that scrum from the Clovers though, and the ball did pop out, so it's Clovers' ball. Eventually pounced on by Campbell. It's good to see the Clovers really going for it there, and not letting the score line get in their way too much. O'Leary. Hughes popping it up there. Shannon Toohey. Lovely line, cutting a great line there. Just again a little bit slow at the breakdown to get going, but good pick up by Niamh O'Dowd to get the ball moving forward again, across the gain line. Ruth Campbell's carried very well this afternoon. Good play. There's a little bit of space. Oh, good. How? It's so close. Gorman just juggled it and couldn't quite grab it. And I think it was Gorman who came away with that in the end. Now, it hasn't gone out of play, so I have an opportunity. Nicola Fowley gives a lovely little ball. Corey. Now the offloads come, and there was a little bit of an off. There was an opportunity there, and the Wolfhounds have it. Just 2 fractions of a millimetre there. 2 handling ones in a row there that just were on the tips of the fingers, just couldn't reel them in.
Do you know, I think, did they play 10 edge too early there, the Clovers? A really good D from Wolfhounds.
Yeah.
In fairness, Katie Corrigan shot up, put Claire Gorman under a lot of pressure, and then the kick, you know, on that turnover. Go at them.
Really run hard.
Yeah, like the space was on the edge. All you need, obviously, quick hands, spread the ball, use your width. Just a little that reactions, the reactions to spread and to challenge and get the ball wide. But yeah, look, fantastic start. He's kind of end-to-end stuff there.
Yeah, no, really was. And I suppose at the minute, the little differences between the two sides come down to those little bits of when the opportunity's there. Get the ball to hand, make a count. Here we go. Wolfhounds, they're not going to be kicking this away. The big handoff comes.
That's Aideen Murta.
Murta, yeah. Another Leinster player onto this Wolfhound side. Big, powerful running there. Tuat again. Tuat heavily involved in that first half. And there's the kick. Great catch. Corey did really well there. Now they're looking to spin it wide. Can they move it? Waldron just powers the legs. Keeps going at that centre roll. Nice ball. Hughes. And have Wolfhounds got that? I think they have got that. Yes, it was just holding on the deck. Again, very aggressive attack there, just in that defense, just knocks them back and just takes the sting out of the attack.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I think the handling area is quite high today, especially from a Clovers perspective on that turnover front. Be something that they'll probably be looking back and kicking themselves, you know, on that kick turnover there. You know, the counter attack, last pass. Can we move the ball pre-contact from Dorothy Wall, and then then we see on the edge. Just that kind of last pass as well, just not going to hand.
So there's no advantage from a turnover. So
it'd be interesting to see, really, you know, how they if they keep them maintain the same structure of this Celtic Challenge next year, and how these sides, if they do manage to keep the sort of core player base together, how they sort of drive on and learn from that. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the Wolfhounds. You know, we spoke about the amount of changes. 11 changes from the starting 15 the last time they met. Like, this is a completely different team. They've used, you know, they went through, like, I'm not going to name every player, right? And
no,
a lot of them are very high caliber players that they're missing today. Just some things just aren't just sticking for the Clovers, unfortunately, today. But they'll be looking back and look, they'll learn.
Well, that's what we said this in the earlier match. You know, it was again a bit of a one-sided match. You know, with Lightning really just taking it to the Warriors. But you looked and went, the Warriors created enough to make it go right. Actually, we're creating stuff, and that's the key thing. It's just finishing. Clovers are very much the same. They've broken the line a number of times. They've had their opportunities. Wow, look at that scrum. Wow. And there's not too much you can do about that. But as you say, they will learn from this, and they'll go, right, actually, we need to be more aggressive. We need to, and even working together another year of being together will help those little centre partnerships, those back row partnerships really come together.
Yeah, and look, the depth is there, which is great.
Yes,
This is
it's
an
incredible.
opportunity for player identification and player development,
Yeah.
and I think that's what this competition gives.
Yeah.
You know, players are going to come away, yeah, they might not make a Six Nations panel, but they've come away from a really good experience here,
Yeah.
and they're bringing it back into their clubs, back into their grassroots, into the domestic game, and that's what we want.
They know what they need to do to get to the next level. Isn't that right? Oh, and a little bit of a mistake there in the middle of the line out, and Clovers come away with it.
Leave it high. Stay
Will
outside.
Hughes take this on her own,
Use it.
or will she pass this back? Takes the opportunity to box kick herself and clear the lines outside the 22.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there hasn't really been too much of a kicking game to comment on.
8 and 9.
Really, both sides have kind of tended to
Number
keep it in
1,
hand.
8, 9 and 1.
Yeah,
Green.
bar kind of obviously, you know,
Yeah,
your
9 and
normal
1.
kind of kick exit within
Yeah.
the 22.
Yeah,
We
use a
haven't
line, green.
seen,
That's
like
good.
obviously from Kate Flannery in the first half, we saw 1 or 2
Yeah.
kind of crossfield kicks. I wouldn't say they were perfectly
Not one, not
executed. The
Yeah, they
intent
changed
was
the
there
line,
to
they
kind
changed
of
the
to
line.
play to width.
Yeah, you can change
It's
the
just
line.
when you play to width,
Yeah.
you
that's
have
fine,
to
it's
earn
okay.
the right to
On the
play
mark,
wide.
we're not going yet, just wait till
And
we go.
sometimes we
All
just
good,
get,
Vicky?
you know, we're so
Vicky, all good,
obsessed with maybe shape, and we're
Wait,
going through
just wait
phases.
till I move.
But we have to scan and play within the game.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe in this game there hasn't been too much of a need for tactical kicking per se. There's been so much talent in the run game that you don't need to look to the boot too much on either side. But
Yeah, and when you're giving away easy penalties and then, you know, easy ins within the 22, it's, you know, that's how you work your way up the field.
and a team that's been adept all afternoon at working their way up the field is this Wolfhounds side. Here we go, Linda de Jong. Oh, and talking about tactical kicking, we finally get one. Oh, that's a really pressure kick, bobbling, bouncing all over the place. Corey just about manages, does very well now. Will this be a penalty turnover? Good clear out, I think, by the Clovers. Oh, and a little bit of hands in the ruck there. So just as I said, that was nearly a perfect kick there from an attacking perspective. Put the Clovers under real pressure.
Yeah, really clever kick as well. Like I've been impressed with Nikki Caughey's game management today. Obviously, when you're 47 points up, you know, the ability, you kind of relax within those scenarios. But Aoife Corey out of position, you know, it's not a nice position to be playing inside your 15 as a fullback and no support and a big blue wall coming
I
at
was
you.
about to say bearing down upon you. I wouldn't like to see that, to be honest.
Numbers 5. Green.
Those little kicks, though, they get the defence thinking as well.
5 call.
You can talk all you like about press up defence, but if you think that a team might dink over the top, you'll hesitate a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a few more changes there as O'Leary puts the ball in again to that line out. Clovers going for that driving maul. Wolfhounds have done really well there. They've got right in amongst them. I'm not too sure who that is right in the heart of that maul there. It might be Molly
Sacked it.
Boyne, you know, is it? That was incredible work from Molly Boyne. She managed to kind of crawl her way through there. It is Molly Boyne.
was
Brilliant.
Molly Boyne.
I mean, that takes some strength, but just that tactical awareness to get in there, hands on ball, turnover.
Absolutely. You know, I think her body height, her power, aggression, she's been on form tonight, I must say, around all elements of the game.
I tell you what, that Wolfhounds back row, I mean, back 3, 6, 7 and 8, I think have all been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, and look, now we're seeing India Daly at 8.
Oh dear, help us all.
Obviously, Hannah O'Connor's gone off. A.G. Murtagh's gone to the row. You know, we talk about depth and people being able to play across the park.
Yeah, I think India Daly's working her way back into the 10 position, and maybe for the last 5.
Set.
Oh, they're going to tap quick. I was about to say maybe take a scrum again, but not when you've got Katie Whelan in your scrum half position. Look at that, just keeping powering on. The Wolfhounds aren't going to sit about and wait for a scrum to happen. Good play. Boyne again. She's captain for a reason. Leading from the front. Lovely ball presentation. You sort of use the phrase, Whelan's had a bit of an armchair ride all day, just lovely ball. And then she's able to feed the back line. This time Myrta. Good counter rucking.
Leave it now. No.
Jane Clossie making a bit of a nuisance of herself at ruck time.
Ball's not out.
India Daly pops it off. Little bit of a bobble there, but Aoife Moore does well to handle that, bring it back down again. Wolfhounds just being patient now. When they go for it, they go for it, but when they're patient, they're patient. They now have an offside advantage. It's a free ball kicking in here. Powerful running line. You just kind of get the feeling they go through the phases nicely and then all of a sudden explode. Boom, boom, boom. And away they go. Here we go. Good hands again. Well up there. Good tackling. Dorothy Wall rushing the line nicely. And again, that's another good hit there. Olgo Leary
Yes,
just
so
making
that
sure Wolfhounds don't get across that gain line. Oh, nearly went. Wow, good work there. It was Claire Gorman came up. Part intercept, part, but the Wolfhounds always knew they had a free ball. Take 3 points, maybe?
roll away.
In the position they're in now, I'd probably say they'd offer scrum. I think their scrum dominance has been pretty good in the second half.
Definitely, definitely. It's
They have
unless they have a
few-
wee trick move up their sleeve.
They have a few changes there. Obviously, the introduction of Sophie Barrett and Aoife Moore into the front row.
Decision.
So
Captain.
Yeah, so they may well fancy a little crack at a scrum. There you
you know,
go.
fresh legs.
Yeah, this is why you're here. You see, you're able to call these things.
So take
Oh,
the
scrum.
hit.
A scrum.
Okay, don't step back. Hold the weight, okay? Do not step forward.
But
hold
it's
the weight.
tactically astute, right in front of the post. It opens the whole width of the pitch up on both sides. You know, from a back
Mark's here.
line perspective.
Let's go.
It's hard to with India Daly at 8. You can't imagine there's going to be a pick and go from 8. You know, you kind of think if O'Connor had still been at 8, but look, India Daly has a whole range of skill sets, so you just never know. But you can expect us to go to the back line.
Yeah, 3-3 split. I'd say though, depending on the wheel, would you use Indy off the base? You know, to be honest, Katie Whelan is electric off the base with her speed,
Just don't
and I'd
chase
say
the
we'll
feet.
see Katie Heffernan running
Use half
really
the
hard
kick to
line
hit.
off maybe
Keep your
Katie
feet
Whelan.
steady.
I
Do
don't
not
know.
take a step back.
I don't know the
Do not
moves,
chase
Graham.
I've got
but-
but I like to hear what you think's going to happen.
But where, you know, where's the seams? Where
Scrums the
they,
first half were
you know,
really
where
good.
do you
Now let's get
target?
back to where
Yeah.
we were.
My call is penalty from the scrum. This is what always happens. You get all excited about what back move can happen, and then the
never
whole thing
gets out.
collapses.
Set. Hold.
Here we go. Katie Whelan ready to put the ball in. That's a good steady scrum. It's turning. The Clovers have done a great job of powering through. And the ball is, how did that come out? I thought, I was sure the penalty was going to be blown there. But the advantage has been played. Big carry. Huge carry from Sophie Barrett. Is she going to get it down? Not quite. Ball still rubbed out. Wolfhounds very patient. They were very lucky to get away with that scrum there, though. The Clovers put them under huge amounts of pressure. They just need to get a reset again, the Wolfhounds. Take their opportunity. Great double hit by the Clovers.
Turnover's good.
Huge hit by both second rows.
We have knock-on advantage by Blue. Knock on.
That was a big double hit by Campbell and Wall there to knock the Wolfhounds backwards and turn to get, ultimately really get that turnover. Big dig out of the way, but you don't want to give it to these runners at pace in open play. Ryder. He hasn't needed to do too much defensively at fullback today. Oh, and it just bobbles and bounces, and there's a little knock
No,
on.
your possession because you touched it. It's not off the ball.
The Clovers will be pleased to have come away with that without conceding anything. That was a pretty sustained period of play from the Wolfhounds.
Definitely, like we're seeing a little bit more maturity and
10.
patience within that D.
Number 10, Green.
Slowing down that ruck. I think the collisions have been a little bit better. It's just now how they work their way up the field here now. We see the introduction of Michelle
10 blue.
O'Driscoll into the centres there. We know she's a really strong, hard, dynamic, pretty similar to Kelly McCormill.
Blue as well.
Very strong, dynamic runner.
Yeah, we really are seeing all the changes now, aren't we?
Emma Tilley on the wing here for the Wolfhounds, and Abby Moyle slots into 10 with Kelly and Katie still playing outside her. So still a bit of consistency in the
Well,
in
Nikki
that centres.
Cockey has had a great game at 10.
Really good
You
game.
know, I mean, yes, we look at her kicking, and her kicking's been pretty outstanding from a course, but she just controls that back line. She just cruises about and just offloads and gives the centres who you just mentioned the time and space to do their work, doesn't she?
Yeah, like I think Nikki epitomises keeping rugby very simple. She does the simple things extremely well, and she manages people around the park, and that's what you want from your 10s, you know.
And as you've been talking all game, it helps when you're getting ball on a front foot to be able to do it. Lovely hands, lovely offload. Now the Clovers are away. Lovely inside pass. Here's the big number 4, Ruth Campbell, who moments ago was making dominant defensive hits. Now she's charging down the pitch. There is space out wide. They're screaming for it. Can they get the ball out to Barrett? Just bounces. Oh, and it just came forward. Brilliant play though there, and Ruth Campbell pelting away.
Fantastic play. Look, the ability for Dorothy Wall to keep that ball alive, like we saw from Hannah O'Connor, that kind of, you know, over the shoulder kind of netball, basketball.
Yeah, we're getting all the skills today.
Yeah, really good support line from Maeve O'Gleary. Spoke about her earlier on and her impact in the second half. And then Ruth, from a big ball carrier number 4, she probably had a little bit of more footwork to use. She could have beaten that. I don't know who it was. The last defender was Ava Ryder. It's just the last pass.
Yeah,
that second last pass is just not.
There was a potential overlap there on the left hand side.
Yeah.
You know, just straighten and give. And you were talking about Nikki Cockey, just keeping it simple, not trying too much. But anyway, Wolfhounds have it. Good pick off the tail by Daly. Good ball carrier. And here's a very clinical kick, but it goes straight into the arms of Barrett. And there's going to be a penalty, so you would maybe think about sticking this down into touch, using this line out strength that you have, and closing into the last 10 minutes. It would be, if the Clovers could eye up getting into the 20s, they'd certainly want to see if they could stamp a few more points on this game before the end of the half.
Numbers, Green. 6. 6 plus 1. 6.
So here we go.
Little trick play from the
trick play.
line.
Yes, it didn't work beautifully. And
Double movement.
it's going to be double movement. Oh, there's those little ones again, just creep away. Beautiful work. Olga O'Leary thought she was away on a dander in, and just
Rolling forward, tackles made.
Andrew Mitchell, the referee, was right on the money there. But Clovers still down in the territory.
Yeah, still in a really good position. I think from a creativity point of view, the likes of Dorothy and Maeve Ogue, look, they know each other extremely well. It was nice to see that versatility from a line-out perspective. Sometimes it's just, you know, go back to basics and what you're doing really well.
And here they go, Olga O'Leary again. Clovers have the opportunity, they have got it back. As long as you stay in the right area of the pitch, that's where mistakes can happen. Dorothy Wall, but look, there's suddenly that impetus of pace, and that's what we talked about, the benches. The benches have made a real difference in this game. You just feel, look, there's a real opportunity there. That was Grania Burke, yes, nearly made it over. Lovely hands, will it go out the back door? Lovely swing out. Just that ball just wouldn't come to hand quick enough. Real impetus now from the Clovers, driving towards the line. We've seen pretty much everyone who's come off the bench get their hands on the ball in this phase. There's Wall again. Lovely play this time, Michelle O'Driscoll, the 23. Good carry by Collis. Olga O'Leary. Oh, you get to see, just wants to keep going, keep pumping those legs. Will the ball go wide? There's got to be space at some point. Good defence though. Oh, what an offload, but just forward again. Just that extra little last pass. Great play from the Clovers though. Just going through the phases, hitting angles, hitting lines, pumping the legs, but again, just that little last pass.
Yeah, like I think it's really good ball retention.
Yeah.
Especially where they are. The only thing for me is like, you know, and what I think the Wolfhounds have done exceptionally well is that pre-latch, and they're going off kind of isolated runners. You know, really good intent, but like be a little bit cohesive.
Yeah.
So you know, Myrna Wall, put your foot on the ball, get your forwards around the corner, and manage that and earn the right, as we said. Because when they are going to an edge, it's just a little bit lateral, and it's just, you know, it's very easy to defend from Wolfhounds, but exceptional defence, especially all considering the amount of changes. And we've seen a lot of changes and a lot of really young players coming into the mix there as well. So
good continuity for all that change, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It shows, I think, a good element of trust amongst the group.
Yeah.
In each other, especially 5 metres, defending 5 metres off your line.
It's good to see that we're on 72 minutes. That intensity coming in from the Clovers, that real desire to keep pumping the legs, get across the gain line, make hits, get it wide, shouts from calling it out. You know, it's.
We just didn't see enough of that in the first half, to be honest. I think Dorothy Wall, you know, carried ball. I think the introduction of Maeve O'Leary's done well. But can they be more cohesive in their ball carrying? Can get that latch on that inside latch and drive for the line?
And that's, as we say, you know, the more times you play together. This is only the second year this has happened. It's only the first year we've had the Wolfhounds and the Clovers. It's like this time next year, will we see, as long as they kind of hold some of that squad together. Good driving scrum again there. Deserved penalty.
Will they tap and go?
I'm not even going to call it this time. You could easily go scrum, but it's maybe a bit too tight into the corner for that. Tap and go, I think. Look at you. I'm going with you every time. The other will, Myrna will pass it off. Going a bit high. Wolfhounds have been able to stop that off, but still managed to get it back. Good work from the Clovers. Close in to the Wolfhounds line. Good ball out, getting a little wider. They are calling for it out wide. There is a little bit of space, but they want to power through the middle. They've got it down.
Maeve O'Leary.
There she is, and that's the impetus. You talked about her coming on earlier. You said what she'd bring. She almost got over earlier, but for a double movement. She's been involved in 3 or 4 phases along that path, and well-deserved score.
Absolutely. I think she's been like a terrier since she's come on this field. The one to get on the ball. I actually think Nicole Fowley thought the ball was coming to her. And Maeve Vogue entered the passing channel, obviously disguised running, and obviously really good finish from her, really good body height to get over that line. How many? We got about 7 minutes on the clock.
There's still time.
Still time.
Believe. Well, it'd be nice. It's right in front of the sticks as well. So, like, to get this, the added extras would take you into the 20s. And Nicola Fowley does this consistency for Galwegians and also for Connacht, and she's done it again today. So 21. It just led. The Clovers have given well in the second half. It's two tries apiece in the second half. It's a bit more of a bit more of consistency there.
Yeah.
Right, I've done my maths right. I think I have.
You going right?
So 47-21. Great catch. Oh, look. Goodness, that's some belt.
Yeah, we see the length in that kick. Really well executed from Nicole Fowley. That's where you want to play. Yeah.
Just keeping it simple. Catch, pass, kick, and you're up to the halfway line. And you just need to keep putting pressure on the opposition. They won the last line out against the Wolfhounds. So the Wolfhounds will be under pressure. Nice up at the front though. That's a great bit of play from the Wolfhounds just to get that continuity back again. Good carry and run by Daly. It's just transitioned so seamlessly into that back row. Lovely play, big defenders. Decent amount of chat. You can hear it from up here as the teams get themselves organised. Quick ball. Oh, and that's another just a wee clever dink, just keeping that defence honest. But Corey is just done all game. Has just been so adept at just finding the right time, space. O'Leary, the try score. Nice little offload there. 7 offside. Another opportunity with Foley's boot to get down there. There's still time.
I think there's still time to get another score on the board.
Well, I think to get another score and
the second half in a better position than they left.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's footwork there for you. Great play. Abby Moyles manages to keep that in play. Oh, and the thought of an interception, and it has been knocked on. If that ball had been kept in hand, who knew? But there you go. Just keeping that pressure on. Keeping that pressure, and mistakes eventually come.
Yeah, better line speed. I think that was Claire Gorman that shot up there. Better line speed, better intent from the Clovers. What a take from Abby Moyles.
Wasn't it brilliant? Just tiptoeing down that touchline like a ballerina.
In the white boots, she cannot be missed.
So here we go. This is a really interesting scrum. Wall has the ball at scrum half. They've lined both centres up directly behind, or certainly they've got Waldron right behind the scrum, so the opportunity to go left or right. And it's a good solid scrum from the Clovers, and they're going left. Straight all the way out. Here goes Barrett. And just that forward pass.
That's really unfortunate. I think from a mindset point of view, I think, it's like a domino effect. It happens once, it happens again. They're on the back foot. But you have to shake that off as a player, and especially playing at this level, you've got to move on to the next moment and keep looking for those opportunities. I think from a handling error tonight, I don't think Dennis Fogler to be too happy, or Niamh Briggs.
I think that's the thing, and that's where Wolfhounds have got a lot of their scores from. It's at this level, you can't just score off first phase. You need 3, 4, 5 phases to all go perfectly for you to create that gap. And Clovers have probably got the 3, 4 phases, but they haven't got the 5th one. Here we go, India Daly off the tail, still motoring after 78 minutes, still going strong. What a tackle! Great hit there by the captain. Oh, and there's the penalty, just using hands on the ground. Just lets the Wolfhounds away with it. Well, 78th minute. Larissa, it's probably not too far away. You can start talking about who you think your player of the match is.
We talk about our both.
You go for it, yeah.
Look, I think, from a Wolfhounds perspective, I think their pack have worked extremely hard from their starting pack to what's now existing out in the pitch. I have to obviously give a shout out to India Daly. I think she stepped up on the occasion from hooker from her set piece and then into the back row. I think Fiona Chewett was exceptional. Some really good line breaks. The likes of Molly Boyne, the captain, workhorse around the park. And her ability to her lines of support. I think Nikki Cohey managed the game really well. And obviously the lightning quick Katie Corrigan, our finisher on the field. But I think for tonight, I think Hannah O'Connor has to go to Hannah O'Connor. I thought she has been around the park. I thought her soft skills, her ability to lead from a set piece point of view, and just her ability around the park, just really, really good, smart rugby.
Yeah, just an absolute titan. I couldn't agree with you more than that. So there you go, Hannah O'Connor is the player of the match for this one. And a good number of good outstanding performances from the Clovers again. I thought both second rows there, Ruth Campbell and Dorothy Wall for the Clovers, have been tireless in their work rate. Not just in lineouts and scrums, but in the loose, they're running, they've been the big hitters really.
Yeah, and we spoke about that before the game, how much they would have an impact on it. I thought they've done extremely well. Obviously the likes of Maeve O'Leary coming onto the field as well. Niamh O'Dowd put in a good shift in the front row. And you know, like, it's just unfortunate it wasn't their day today.
No, definitely not. And as they put in a really good scrum, and they've done a good pick-off. Dorothy Wall, who we just talked about, slipping in the 8th position there. And look at this, nice hands, offload inside, outside, good change of hands there. Hellman, another player who's kind of worked tirelessly throughout the whole afternoon. Wall again. Clovers back in the red zone. They'd love to come away with something else. That's really nice hands. Just got to keep hold of the ball. Still there for the Clovers though. Megan Collis punching away there. O'Leary as well. Such an impact off the bench this afternoon. Great play by Hellman. There's the big hand of Wall again. Will the Clovers have the final say in this match? The Clovers, of course, have still got to play Edinburgh again next week, so this is by no means, and I think, well, let me see if it's going to be a penalty. It is going to be a penalty. We're nearing the end of this match, and whilst the Clovers, and there's another week of this left to go next week, away to Wales, where of course we'll have matches for you, the old Welsh affair, Lightning versus Thunder, which will be a cracker first, and then of course we finish with the Clovers against Edinburgh next week. But I think we're safe to say at this point in time that this match, and in fact this whole championship, has really just been an incredible time for the Wolfhounds. They've just, from the start of this tournament right the way through, they've really just put their stamp on it as the dominant team in this event, and they're worthy champions, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think obviously credit to Neil Alcorn and his management team, and the players, the way they've conducted themselves with all the changes. I think they're well-deserved winners on the night, and it's great to see that we've such depth, and obviously to see the development of players coming.
And
through
here we
the
go.
system. Oh,
And Clovers do have the final word. I think it was a joint score there. I think both Campbell and Hellman both had their hands in the ball at the same time. Brilliant finish to this game. 47-26 with a kick still to come, and that's brilliant to see that they're still pushing on right to past the 80th minute.
yeah. Do you know what? I think the changes in the second half, they've come out with a little bit more aggression.
Yeah.
They're playing in the right areas. I think really
Bench has made a big difference,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And they've gone back to their power weapon of their maul. So, yeah, look, I think, that first try, after
isn't
the
that-
really
yeah.
good play, like,
Yeah.
did heads drop ever so slightly. But overall, really good competitive game, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
And for all players to get good quality game time leading into Six Nations period, and with Clovers to play next weekend as well against
so
Edinburgh.
Exactly. So listen, I hope you've really enjoyed it this afternoon. Here we go. Can we get the extras? Not quite, but 47. I'm making it 47-26 on the scoreline at the end of this match. It's been a try-fest. We did get the bonus point as well for the Clovers, which will be important going into the last fixture, because they'd want to outscore Lightning, who are just nicked ahead of them earlier this afternoon. But the big news of the day is, of course, that Wolfhounds are the Celtic Challenge champions for 2024, and very well deserved. A big word, as you've mentioned him a few times, Neil Alcorn. What he's done, pulling these group of players together and making them work so cohesively, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think it's we have to note that these players have been training in Dublin and obviously up in Belfast. They're travelling up and down, the whole logistics thing. So I think from an overall management and operations front, there's been a lot of work that's gone on behind the scenes, and credit to everybody that has been involved in making this happen, because you see the celebrations out there. It's great that obviously the trophy's coming back to an Irish club.
Yeah,
they never lost a game all competition.
Isn't that incredible?
So they have to take really good confidence going into a Six Nations period with all these players getting really good quality minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you can see all the players know each other there. They're very familiar with each other from provinces, from club. There'll be a degree of enjoyment, especially given that second half, the way the Clovers came back at it. They may have lost, but they'll have really enjoyed that second half, the way they kind of came back into it. And certainly Dennis Fogarty, he has something really good to build on moving into a very tough match against Edinburgh next week.
Yeah, and